kids, it's Mrs. Hudak here. I am just making a video to share with you guys, going over some of the strategies and ways to help you with your production of the K and the G sound. So if you're working on the K and the G sound, let's go over some of the strategies that I had either introduced to you during the school year in school while we were in the schoolhouse, or you've been practicing, and so this should just be a review. All right, for the first thing that we're going to talk about is the K sound. All right, as you can see when I pull out, the K and the G sound are very similar. They both can be produced with an open mouth posture if you need to get the sound. We're going to use the back of our tongue to produce both sounds. The difference is with the K sound, our voice is off, and I'll show you what that means. And with the G sound, our voice is on. So I can make both of these sounds not making any changes to my tongue by just simply turning my voice off or on. All right, we'll go over some of the cues that we can do to help produce these sounds if we're having difficulty. All right, to produce the K or the G sound, if you have difficulty even just producing the sound to begin with, we're going to always open our mouths. By opening our mouths, it gives us a clear view of our tongue and lets us see that we need to use the back of our tongue. So we open our mouth, and we can see we have to use the back of our mouth, our tongue rather, I'm sorry. My tongue goes up in the back. If your child goes k, t, t, they can see their mouth closing and they can see the front of their tongue being used. So we're going to try to open our mouth, isolate the back of our tongue, and begin that sound. K, k, k. That is our sound off, all right? So when I say k, I can't feel anything down here. This is where we say we turn our voice off and on. This is where our voice box is located. This is where you'll feel the difference. If I'm making the G sound, g, 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 the back of my tongue is still being used, but if I feel here, g, g, I can feel a slight vibration, meaning my voice is on. Okay, those are the basics for how to produce the K and the G sound. If you are producing them in a word, which many, if not all of my students had begun doing or were doing very well, we're going to talk about the cueing that we can use. All right, visual cues. Visual cues are simply looking in a mirror while we produce it, or looking at somebody else as they model it for you. So if I'm saying I'm looking at my initial K words on the screen here, let me just this was also uploaded to Schoology or emailed to you. My first word is can. If I'm looking in a mirror or at a model, somebody modeling it to me, my visual cue is seeing can. All right? So I see it. My verbal model is I hear it. All right? So those are the two kinds of cues. A kinesthetic cue adds a movement to it. So if I'm going to say can, and maybe I'm saying tan, I'm going to say it's not tan, it's can. And I'm demonstrating a back to front movement. Can. I'm going from the back of my tongue being used to the front of my tongue being used. And students can self-prompt as well, and many of them do. Many of them will touch the back of their throat, indicating it's a back sound, and come to the front. Can. If you find that your student cannot blend the sounds, if they say tan, introduce breaking the word apart. So it would be an. We want to get rid of that T. We don't want them to get in the habit of having that T sound in for the K. So those are some levels that you can do. You can start at the sound. You can go from the sound to a syllable. K, a, k, a, k, e. You can go through the vowels like a consonant vowel and right into the words. Same thing as if this were in the end of a word. If my word was bike, but I kept saying bite, bite, I would cue the same way. I would say bike, bike, showing the student it goes front to back. They see it, they move something, and they hear it. So those are the levels of cues that we can do for the K and the G sound. Again, if they are using the G sound, the K sound when they should be using a G sound, we want to just make sure we're checking. Is my voice on? If it's not on, I'm saying a K sound. If it's on, I'm saying my G sound. I hope that those tips and tricks are useful as you practice the stuff that I've uploaded to the Schoology folder or that I've emailed to you. If you have any questions about what I've just gone over, Feel free to email me, shoot me back a video, or you can even request a Google Meets during my office hours, which I've also emailed to you and are listed on Schoology. Hope everyone's doing well. Bye.